Hello guys, how are you? Our topic for today is to create our Firebase account. At the same time, we will convert that Firebase to a JSON file, and we will use a simple tool to retrieve and to display the Firebase record. So Firebase is just like a real-time database, and we'll be using a simple tool to retrieve those information by using a simple request. So this is the example of the data that will be converted. So I am using the JSON right here, a raw JSON file, and we have the keys and the values. Now this is very simple. Well, you start first you can use the default JSON file or external JSON file by saving the file as JSON. So JSON is like your flat file so that it can be read by your browser. So it is JSON. JSON stands for what? JavaScript subject, okay, object notation. So that is JSON. Now let us start. And of course, our first procedure will create first our JavaScript or what you call this, our Firebase account. So let us start here. Now we'll open our browser and then let's go to our Firebase. You start with HTTPS and then you have firebase.google.com. Okay, so I'll be using my Firebase account in Google. I will use the sign in button and I will use another account. Okay, so the account would be what? The Kidron box. Okay, now we'll enter the password here. All right. So it is very important that you should have a good internet connection. This is to avoid any delay. So this is now the Firebase dashboard. And by this time, I think if you are using the Firebase by this time or after 4 to 3 months, well, of course, it will have a different dashboard. So this is the new dashboard of Firebase. Okay. So what's next? So let us go to console. And our target is to create our real database application. So we'll use the add project. I have the existing project right here, but I will use the add project. Okay, let's start with the name of your project. You enter any name, okay? A short name is a good name so that you can remember that your project as your project ID. Like for example, we can say project number 3. Okay, so this is now the ID, project 9538380. So let us check, continue. And at the same time, okay, do not touch this. And of course, you can proceed to continue again. And then what will happen right here? So you choose default account for Firebase, or you can use the create new account. Since I have the default account, so I can use this one. And then choose create project. Okay, please wait while the browser is reading. We will convert our data to JSON, export it to JSON, and at the same time, we'll use the curl. So what is a curl? Curl is just like a tool that will request the information to the server and of course convert that data as JSON file. Okay, so we are now finishing reading. So this is project 3. Your new project is ready. So now you can kick off your Firebase project. Now we have here the different application. You can use the 3D Unity for game application, for your web development, for your Android, and for your iOS. Like for example, if you want to create your program for your web using the JavaScript or maybe your PHP, you can use this to get your API. But since our target is to create our database, let us leave it here. We will discuss this in our next tutorial. So we have here the build menu. Okay. We have here the build menu. Okay. So we have the following menu: the build, the dashboard, the events, the conversion. So we just concentrate here in the build menu. We have to do is to use the real-time database. Real-time database, it is using the NoSQL. We need to say that is, well, a immediate type of flat file, but then you can convert that as a text file and bridging it to the JSON format. So we have here the following dashboard and of course the menu. This is now how it's look like, the real-time database. Okay, so we will create database. So all you have to do is to choose United States US Central. Okay, and then click next. So we will, since this is our test database, we will use the start test mode. So the default security rules for test mode allows anyone with your database reference to view, edit, and delete all data in your database for the next 30 days. Okay, so you can still hit this database so that you can continue working with your data. All right, so we'll click enabled. After that, what will happen? Okay, let us wait. So we are now enabling our database there. Okay. All right, that's it. What's next after this? So we have here the data. And of course, we have here the project ID. Remember? So how to create your keys and values. All right. Remember, we have here the keys. So we have the keys and values. So that's equivalent to objects. So if you create your program in JavaScript, well, of course, you have, like, for example, x equals to, for example, record equals to, and then you have here name, then you have here Arnold, something like that. So this is your value, your keys, and this is your value. All right. So that's it. Now let us move on. What's next? So how to create your keys and values? Just click right here. Just click right here, and then you can add the name right here. For example, we have here ID. You can enter the value 0, 0, 1. Add. All right. Next, like for example, you add here location, and then you can type here, let's say, okay, Miagao. Add. And if you want to add another, well, of course, let's say temperature. Temperature, well, of course, we have 28, 28 degrees. So we have here to add the temperature. So they have here the keys, the values, and here. So this is now your data. And of course, we need to go to the rules. The purpose of this is to check if we can read or write to this data. So this is an automatic. And we have here the backups. You can back up this file. You have here also the usage. All right. So let's go back to data. Okay, so we have here the default address of your database is project3953. This is now where we fetch the data. So if you want to fetch your data by means of your Python, by means of your JavaScript or PHP, we need to copy this. And of course, don't forget to go back in your project program API, the application program interface, so that we can you can use your key to fetch this. But our target is to use a simple curl program. Okay, so what's next after this? Okay, we will now export this to a JSON file. So we will export this to a JSON file. All right, so we have here a JSON file, and then JSON stands for subject, JavaScript subject object notation. So let us check that folder. All right, so we have here a JSON file, and then we will need to put it right here in our folder. So we have here the Cynic. Let us put it here, and okay, we will rename this file. Okay, in a shorter file rename. So we can say data, data3. Okay, so we have the data right here. Now, if you open this file, data3, okay, open with Sublime text. Okay, we can see that ID 01, location, temperature is 28 degrees. So this is now parts of the objects. Why? Because it is encapsulated with the open and close braces. At the same time, we have the following keys and the field names. All right, let's move on. Now, what happened after that? So we have here the data. Now, the next part is, what's next? How to fetch this data and display the keys and values. All right, so this is the technique. You can use the curl. What is a curl? This is like your inline URL command. So curl is to fetch the data at the same time to get a request from the server. And of course, the server will return you the value by means of a raw file or a raw text file. That could be a JSON file. Okay, so how to do that? Okay, you need first to open your what? CMD command. Okay, so how to use that? Open your CMD command. You go here in your CMD command, and then you type the CMD, and then there you have it. So we have here CMD. Okay, now let us check and go to our go to this folder, CD drive C, and then we have here system32. Okay, there you have it. Now we'll display the folder. Okay, let us check. Okay, let us check, and of course, this is the command. Okay, to use the curl command. So curl, you check your CMD, you check your CLI, and then you type curl, and then you type help. Oops, wrong spelling. Curl. Okay, let us check it again. And then you test first your Windows CMD command, and then you need to use the curl, and then type help. Okay, so there you have it. We need to say you have that curl command in your Windows 10, or if you don't have that command, you can download that curl command in the internet. Okay, so how to do that? Let us go back and okay, so we'll have to use the curl command in this directory. Okay, let me first adjust the screen of your DOS of your SLI. Okay, properties, and then we go right here. We have the font, and then change this to 24. Okay, there you have it. I think this is a bit clear right now. Okay, let's check the path. Okay, now let us use this command. Now I will go right here and then cd system32 and then use this command. Okay, if you want to use this command, of course, we need to fetch first the data or display the data that was already exported in our folder. Okay, that data was renamed to data3.json. Okay, let us check again our files, our Firebase database right here. So we have here a project, and then we need to copy this. Okay, so to copy this, of course, we need to press the Control C, and then we need to type it here using the curl command, and then double quotation, and then we have to type it. Okay, now this is now the Firebase URL. So this is the project file name, project ID, and we have the firebase.io.com. So this is the name of our database, of our data. When we click the enter key, automatically will of course let us wait what will happen. All right, so nothing's come out because for one thing that is a null. So we need to use the JSON. Okay, this is to check all the JSON by means of displaying all the query. How to do that? So we have to use again the curl command, and what will happen? We put the point JSON at the end of our folder, and then we press the enter key. So there you have it. We have here ID 001 location, mag out temperature at 28 degrees. Now just imagine if you are creating a program, and of course using JavaScript or PHP or the React.js, and then you're bridging that program to your Firebase, a serverless type of data, and then you convert that to JSON. Every time that you add the records, it will automatically be generated in your folder or in your web host. Okay, now again, if we add record here, okay, let us add another record. Let's say, oops, here I will update this. So let's say ID, let's say I will add another key. Okay, for example, ID, location, temperature, and then name. All right, the value is, let's say I'll put here Arnold. Okay, for example, and then add. So we have now 4 field names. Okay, the ID, location, name, temperature, the keys and the values. Now again, if we export this, okay, export to JSON. All right, so we have here the JSON here, and then we go to our folder. So we go to our download file. Then we need to rename this JSON file to what? Let's say data3. Okay, again, and then we need to overwrite that file, our old file here in our Cynic folder. Okay, where's that Cynic folder? So we have here the data JSON right here. Then we put it right here. Okay, and then we need to replace that fold at that file. Okay, now when we again come back here, then use that command. Okay, and then we press the enter key. So we have the updated file. So we have now 4 field names: 1, 2, 3, 4. We added name as our new field name. So that's how you create your Firebase account. At the same time, how to fetch the Firebase account using the core command. Okay, so that's it. So I hope that you enjoy this quick video tutorial for creating your Firebase account and using the curl command. Please don't forget to subscribe in this channel. Thank you.